So today we're going to look at some special cases or special solutions to solving equations. And we actually have two different ones. So sometimes when we solve an equation, you don't get just one solution. And sometimes you actually get no solution. And so let's talk about when an equation would be no solution. So one thing to think about is you're going to have the same amount of variables on each side. So has to be an equation where we have variables on the same side, or on different sides. Notice 2x, 2x, it's the same. So therefore, when we go to solve, those are going to cancel it out. But our final statement is something that is not equal or false. So let's say our equation looked something like that. Notice it's almost exactly the same. The only thing that's different is our constants. And so if we were to solve this equation, we would start by subtracting 2x from both sides so that our variables are on the same side. And we would end up with just 5 equals 8. Well, 5 is not equal to 8. And there's no variable to say x equals this or that. And so an example like this is no solution. Okay, we can also have another type of situation that means all real numbers. And so again, we're going to have the same amount of variables on each side. So let's say we had 3x and 3x. Okay, so again, if I try to get all the variables on the same side, they would cancel out. But this time, our final statement is equal, or it is true. So the example was 3x plus 9, 3x plus 9. You notice it's exactly the same on both sides. And if I try to move my variables to the same side, I would get 9 equals 9. Well, that's true. 9 is equal to 9. And so the reason we say that the solution is all real numbers, or you can also do this fancy symbol, is because any number that we plug back in for x would make the equation true. Okay, so we can use, there's lots of different numbers that could be a solution. Okay, so let's look at the examples that I have here below. Okay, so we've got to work through our solving. Remember, we have that don't call me after midnight. We're not doing the distributing, so technically it says call me after midnight. Remember, the C stands for combine like terms. Over here on the left, I have some like terms. So this would be 2x minus 12 equals 2x minus 12. So I hope you notice that it's exactly the same on both sides now. I'm going to go further though. If I chose to move my variables to the same side, then they're going to cancel out. There is no more x, and I would have negative 12 equals negative 12. That is true. This is equal, it is the same, and so this would be another example of all real numbers. Okay, let's look at the next one. Again, the first thing we want to look for is combining like terms. So we have 4x plus 2x, which is 6x, and then we have minus 2 equals 6x minus 4. So I hope you're noticing that yes, you have the same amount of variable, but your constant number is not the same. So I'm going to go ahead and move my variables to the same side. So that's 0, that's 0. And so I'm left with negative 2 equals negative 4. That is not true. That is not equal. And so therefore, we say no solution. Okay? So now use these examples to work through and practice these types of problems.